how to navigate times of transformation as a sensitive person. And I wanted to show you really quick. It's super foggy. I am in San Francisco, which is a city that I believe most people can experience a massive transformation. If you live here, if you spend some time here. I used to live here for 13 years and now I am visiting, hopefully just for a month or so, because the energy is very intense. And if you are a sensitive person, it's just a beautiful place. Take a look. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous place. It's very foggy, so we don't get to see the bridge today, but that's where Golden Gate Bridge is over there. Jesus, okay, you guys got the idea. Yes, sensitive people, I think we sense a lot. If you are in the spirituality, astrology space, it's a lot of Pluto energy in this place. For a lot of us, it activates that Pluto line. And yeah, I arrived last night, and I have to say that before arriving, knowing that I was coming here, before arriving here, I already knew a lot of stuff was going to happen here. So I'm trying to find a place where I can just sit and tell you guys a little bit about what I do. And of course, the first thing that we all can do is to find the way that works for us, because we all are different. We all have different nervous systems, but finding a way how to do, all the self-care, all the self-care stuff, whatever suits your nervous system. So get in touch with that right away when you feel like, okay, things are shaking, things are moving. Ground yourself in that little list of things that already work for you, that you already know that help you, that support you when things outside when there's a lot of uncertainty. And that I want to say, that list, the tool list, I want to say that especially in the space of spirituality, we are going through a lot of transformations. We changed so much. So it's normal that list, what used to help you a month ago or a year ago, it might be different now. So be open to explore different things if you are feeling like, okay, maybe this doesn't resonate that much with me. So I'm gonna be sharing a lot of what I'm doing, what's happening for me, so you can have some examples of what's happening for me, and maybe you can start getting ideas of how, based on how I'm navigating this, you can get some ideas in your own version of how you can support yourself during these times. So one other thing that I feel like is very common when we are going in the transformative space, the space of transformation, I think it's normal to feel resistance, to have a lot of fear. It's one of those crazy things, and I don't know if it's, the deeper we get into the spiritual world, I'm just guessing here, I'm just sharing what I've been, kind of reflecting on. I feel the stronger emotions can feel sometimes. And it's the first time in my life that I've been feeling very strong palpitations. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, I'm gonna get a heart attack now. And no, it's just, I think the way my body's speaking to me these days, the way I am connecting with my nervous system. And it's one of those things that they feel super strong. They're just like, I cannot avoid feeling them or deny that they're happening, that I'm feeling that. But at the same time, once I ground and I start breathing and I start doing, the things that help me soothe my nervous system, they go right away. They go away right away. So I'm getting distracted a little bit with this story. There's also a lot of people going on, and of course my nervous system is still a little wired. So I'm just like what's the word for this? High alert. There's another way to say that, but anyway, going back to my center. So resistance, we might feel resistance in fear. So I think I was sharing the example of the palpitations because it's one of the first, it probably is the first time that I'm so aware of how afraid I am. At a point that I was uncomfortable, I was like, I am the first one jumping out of, the cliff or taking action on, on things that most people would be afraid of. Like, what's going on with me? Like, why am I so afraid of doing this transition? Because I moved back to San Francisco from Florida. So there's a lot of layers for me that I will share, but I want to talk a little bit about the fear and the resistance. So what I'm realizing today is that the fear has to do a lot with our ego. And we are humans. We are living the human experience, and ego is part of that journey. It comes in layers, it comes in waves. There are moments where we are living life from a place of love, integrity, and maybe in a place that we have a good relationship with our ego. And there are other times where our ego starts like, popping out. Forgive me if I'm forgetting, how to say things. My brain is still a little tired from all day traveling yesterday. You can tell in my face I look a little tired. So the ego, the way we can recognize what might be happening and why we might be operating from ego is because the ego wants exact results. It's like, I want strawberry ice cream that is not too sweet, that is from organic strawberries, and it comes in a cone that looks this way, and if you don't get it, you're disappointed. That's the ego. It's the ego energy when you are operating from that place. So for me, it's like, it's one of those funny things because it's been a while, but not too long, that I left San Francisco. So I knew San Francisco was cold, but I kind of forgot the feeling. And I know everything that I experienced in Florida, how good, and the things that felt good, the things that didn't feel that good. And one of my favorite things in Florida was the weather, because it suits my nervous system. It's just, some people love the cold, some people love the warm weather, and for me, the heat, feeling the heat in my body, being able to wear very little clothes, being in a bikini pretty much every day, all day, it's something that gives me a lot of freedom. It gives me a sense of freedom and just enjoyment. Anyway, so that's how I started noticing that all the fear that I was feeling about coming to San Francisco, where that fear was coming. God, there are things that I'm just like, my brain gets like blurry, blank, cannot think about anything else. So I think I had this vision, this image of, okay, what suits my nervous system is walking barefoot on the soft sand of the beaches in Florida, to watching the sunrise in the morning and spending the day in the 80s, 90s degrees, right? And if it's not that, then I'm not gonna like it, I'm not gonna enjoy it. And I arrived last night, and it was funny. Maybe I can share a little picture, maybe I won't. When I got out of the plane and I felt the cold, my whole body had a shock. And it's one of those silly things, like, I still enjoy the cold for a little bit, like, I still love, places with the snow. And I'm gonna still, spend time in places like that. But I think it was just from all the ideas and all the thoughts that I had, if I don't have this, I'm not gonna like anything, that my body right away had this crazy reaction. So the picture is, my eyes were red from the impact of the cold in my eyes. Hilarious, and especially if you're a sensitive person, you might relate with this, that we are the ones that, I want to say, I don't know, I'm guessing here, but I am one of those that whatever story I have in my mind, I might manifest that, you know, in symptoms in my body or situations in my life. So anyway, so resistance and the fear, that's a little way how you can start checking with yourself uh, if that's something that you are feeling, and how you can, okay, so the way that I'm working on that fear with my ego about not having the 80 degrees that I want. And it's, I think the inspiration of this video is something that I would love you to take out of these 10-15 minutes of video, of my video. And it's, how can I still get the feeling of the 90 degrees in Florida or in warm weather in San Francisco? How can I get a little version of that? It doesn't have to be the full picture. The organic strawberry, not too sweet ice cream. You know, how can I get an ice cream that might taste a little bit like a strawberry, that it still gives me that feeling? So it's funny because if we want to go to the core of that, our ego is very controlling, you know, and it's very specific. It has to be like this and that. And when you start connecting with the reason, with the motor of why you want that thing, usually when you start breaking down the feeling, what you start realizing is that you want a feeling. So I want the strawberry ice cream that is, you know, the way I described it, because probably it reminds me of a memory in childhood where I felt, I don't know, like I was part of a fairy tale, and there's always like this, you know, feeling. That's what I want to say. There's a feeling of freedom, of love, of connection, of magic. There's, just try to get to the root of that thing that you want, because that's what is going to help you to find what is a small version of that. Someone was sharing the other day, like, I want to be a singer, so this person is it's something that is very big for his self-expression, creative expression, and he's been working on this and manifesting this lifestyle, this life, this identity where he is a musician. And of course he would love to go on tours, and he would love to be on stage and, you know, maybe perform with other musicians and all these things. That's gonna happen one day, right? But it's gonna feel really uncomfortable. It's probably going to be very stressful forcing that to happen, and being so, you know, bored or anxious while this is happening. That's a little bit of, you know, in creativity when we talk about enjoy the process, you know. So the way we enjoy the process is experiencing, being present in every single step. So today it can be an ice cream that gives me that same feeling, that has a little bit of a strawberry flavor in it. So for me, to share an actual example, it's like, okay, I need the heat. That's definitely something that gives me a lot of it makes me feel good, it makes me feel grounded, it gives me a sense of freedom for some reason. Cannot explain everything, but yeah, I get a lot of comfort, freedom, I feel safe, secure in my body. So versions of that, it's saunas. I've been looking for places where I can go to saunas here in San Francisco, heated yoga classes, and also I'm gonna buy a blanket, an electrical blanket, and wearing very warm clothes, making sure that whenever I leave the house I feel warm, and drinking all the delicious warm drinks, soups. And the other one that creates heat inside my body is hot food in general, hot sauce, but hot food right away. And it's just crazy how our bodies are so intelligent, and I want to say even more if you're this sensitive kind of person. Since I started walking on the streets in San Francisco, right away I was, you know, craving hot food. Like my body knows that that's what is going to give me the warmth that I'm craving right now, that my body desires right now. So that's a little exercise practice that you can do if you are going through a transformation when you're having a little hard time to meet your needs, to give yourself what you need. Um, if you are working through something that is gonna happen, but maybe it's not there yet, start creating these little versions of what that will make you feel, how you're going to feel like once you get that thing. From now, it's gonna be super, super helpful. And the other thing that got to me when I was reflecting about this is getting very clear in the intentions you have right now in your life, the vision, because transformations and transformative times can be tricky because they get us out of everything. Like I'm feeling that, out of an environment, out of dynamics, out of yeah, people, smells, so much. Um, so being clear on the vision. What is it that you are working on right now? What is the thing that you want in your life? That's when we, like I am a fan of having a vision, but times like this is wonderful reminder of how important and how helpful it is to always have that. What are you working on? How do you want to feel? No matter. So what I'm experiencing right now is very humbling because let's say when I was there, I was working on this vision, this new identity of the person that I'm becoming, and I had this momentum and this flow. And right now, I feel like I have to prioritize my nervous system, other things. But I was like, I can still work on that vision. It's going to require me. It requires now that I adjust things, especially because I have to give space during my day to regulate my nervous system. But it doesn't mean that I need to stop. It's actually going to be really, really good if I have if I have that vision very clear in my heart, in my mind. So another tip that I am sharing, and I am going to start doing it also from tomorrow. I am a big fan of practices. I think there are times where our nervous system or souls or bodies need a lot of them, all of them. There are other times where we can, kind of find whatever fits, what we're working with at the moment. So I was for a while meditating every day, doing breath work, especially when I was here in San Francisco, which is crazy. Since I moved to Miami, I started finding other ways to connect with myself. Being in nature is a very big one for me, I have to say. And these days, something that it's my favorite thing to do. It's like it's the biggest expression of self-love with self-love with myself. That's how you can tell how tired my brain it is right now. It's journaling, but it's just like my most juicy, delicious moment of my day. I take it very seriously, and I bring a lot of this love and presence when I'm doing it. That way we can stay connected to that vision and track the things that are coming up. If maybe one day it felt a little bit more difficult than the other, and how we can, next day make it a little better, easier. So journaling has been really good, but I'm sure maybe you, just by listening to me, you're having already some great ideas. I send you so much love. The other reminder is that this will pass, and a great, amazing version of yourself is gonna be on the other side of this transformation. Before I leave, it has been huge for me, and I'm super grateful I get to have that, because it's been very, very impactful in this transformation this time. And it's connection with others, friendships, relationships, having nice conversations. And sometimes it doesn't have to be about what you're going through, but authentic, vulnerable genuine connection with other. It can be, for example, I don't know, I have shared this on my other videos, but when I was in Florida, I was spending time with friends of my family, and it's a very big family. So they have kids around, from 8 years old to 50 years old, and it was so sweet. At first, I was like, that's gonna be overwhelming. I don't want to be around kids, every single day. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful in the moment I started realizing like I can have like kids are even way better sometimes than humans, because kids have this presence and they're genuine for the most part, at least. Yeah, I think so. I want to believe that most kids are super genuine. So, talking about cookies, talking about their toys, talking about the adventure they want to go on, like whatever it is in the space of that conversation, practicing that presence, and practicing connection, because it's very easy to have nice conversations, but when we talk about being kind, to each other, that's another requires another level of our vulnerability or authenticity. So I find that there's so much energy, beautiful energy, that we exchange and we receive from those authentic, genuine, vulnerable connections with others. So that's something that I highly recommend. Also, it doesn't matter, again, it doesn't have to be, because I know the older we are, the harder it can be creating new relationships, and you might be feeling like, oh, I don't have that kind of friendships in my life at the moment, but I would love them. You will have them if you have that desire already. The same thing I was talking earlier about the vision. Start getting clear on that vision and start creating that vision and identity. I have other videos where I talk about how we can create that vision, manifest the things that we want. But then, yeah, it doesn't have to be the perfect friendship right now. Connection, and by you being present, you are going to help that connection happen. And the example of kids, I don't know if you have access to kids, but older people too, grandparents, you can go on the street, like sometimes even like the barista in your neighborhood, just bring the intention of connecting with people, and you will see the magic that happens there. Those are a few of the things that I can share with you from my own experience of going in a very shaky, big transformation. We will see what I can share with you guys. Once I am sure I will have a lot to share once I am on the other side of this transformation. Wishing you the best. Peace and love.